Hey there, everybody. Today is Wednesday, March 22nd. Yesterday was International Forest Day, which is one of my favorite days of the year, believe it or not. You might believe it. Um, Today I have been over in the side yard here next to the house where this big old mamma jamma of a tree fell against the house. And so, going off of the thoughts from our last video and talking about ways to incorporate this new light source into our plans and ways to think about the ways that we're going to push the space forward as far as its habitability, soil profile, soil conditions, as well as the hydration of the site. One of the things that we've decided to do is take some of this slash that's behind me and to the side of me. You can see several piles that we've been working on. Let me flip this around and I'll show you what we did, or at least the aftermath of it. So this is the hole where the tree root came out of. That's the root mass over there. And you'll say, wow, it seems like a real shallow hole. It is. Down there, I dug another foot or so further, maybe 2 feet down from what you see now, excavated the dirt over to the side, and then took about a quarter to a third of the slash that I had the time to break down in between the bathroom project and the rest of the yard chores and propagating and splitting and taking cuttings and doing winter prunings and all of that jazz. Anyway, so down in here, I did a short, I guess it was like 2.5 hours char session. It's my first time doing the earthen pit method. And that's earthen, like EEARTHEN, not earth and. But so I'm gonna take a seat on this guy. So down in here, about a foot to 2 feet deeper than the surface, is where we did a huge amount of char. 2.5 hour burn. Most of the stuff were the dried branches from the edges, and so I did several feet, would tamp it back down, build it up again, tamp it back down. I had my trusty pokey stick right here. Stay away from the fire, don't get my feet burned. And yeah, it went pretty well. I wanted to grab the camera and show you guys what I was doing as I was doing it, but yeah, the stand thingy broke, and so I didn't really have a good way to position the camera to show you guys the burn or filling it back in. There was a bit of smoke when the soil first was redeposited here, but my consideration is that this tree is a number of years old. I have not gone and taken the time to count. I suppose I can do that now that I'm done doing some major things. Suppose I could go through and count the rings and let you guys know how old this tree is. But it's however many years of mineral accumulation and lignification that is now in here in the form of carbon and some of the potash, potassium, calciums, and whatever other goodies were in this wonderful tree that just happened to fall the opposite from where I wanted it. And so this spot, we have some compost from the ducks. There's 2 piles in the duck yard, plus the entirety of their winter coop bedding that I have not pulled out yet. You can see some of the first run of it over there on that far bed over there. And a little bit, I guess, over by the spice bush and one of the hazels. But so my thinking is, now that I have the char, I can load this up with some of the manure and the straw and hay from the duck coop and the duck yard compost, put that in there. We can bring in some of the topsoil that's down over that way, and deposit that in here. I don't want to do too much because the native soil improving is really what I'm after, and not as much into a replacement or a swapping from one nutrient poor soil to another relatively nutrient poor soil. All of it needs to be compost added and all of that jazz. But so we'll stick some of the Michella repens, which is a great little bird forage for our winter and overwintering friends. And then we'll think about some of the other semi-shade tolerant species that could go in here. Maybe I do some aronia from the patch that we have. Maybe if we have good luck with the viburnums that we planted last year, or the anything, other elders, or possibly if some of the Amelanchiers up here, or the Amelanchiers in the downhill beds. That would be the service berries for all of those of you who don't speak Latin. So the Amelanchiers can be in here. I would think that the alnifolia or the ovulata, I'll have to put that in the editing. We have 3 or 4 different types of serviceberry Amelanchier, and several of them are more of an edge tolerant speciation, enjoy full sun with some protection, while others are more of a shrubby, more shade tolerant, more low-lying bush. So we'll play around with that. The general aspect of this is on the northeast side of another spruce, and a little bit east, I guess, because that's west right there. So on the east and north side of this, with a really great view of the southern sky during the majority of the growing season. So something that can take a beating of direct sun wouldn't be a bad idea. Do you guys have suggestions, things that I don't have or haven't mentioned, that you think would be a fun experiment? We're still working on a few other things, and once the snow has gone enough to make it easier for me to build out the tub information and the tub system for the ducks, we'll definitely get to work on that and show you guys what that is looking like. But for now, it has been a long day of cutting and bucking. I'll show you, sorry for the quick pan, all of the stuff that doesn't look great for milling. I am still interested in getting someone over here to help me mill it out. But firewood, it's not a bad little bit of wood. I do have to move it off to one of the spaces we have for drying it, but still got about 16 feet that would make some really nice boards, I think. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm going to cut it here, go take the dog out, do some things, relax a bit, stretch. I hope you all are stretching. Hope you all are having a wonderful second full day of spring. And I hope you all have done something amazing for International Forest Day. Till next time, thanks for watching. Happy planting.